are. We made it to Yuma, Arizona. It's day one of the build. Glad to be in the sunshine for a change. We got a few things on the agenda today. First thing we gotta do is take out the flooring. We had left the vinyl flooring with the denim insulation in for the move, and we gotta rip all that out, rip the wheel covers off, finish laying the last of the kilmat. Then we're measuring the holes for the windows, marking them out. If we're lucky, we're gonna start cutting holes into a perfectly good van today. All right, let's go.
What are you doing right now?
I'm gonna draw the cut line. I'm trying to get it right.
See, this works perfectly for me.
Oh, look. Other son-in-law teamwork. Little tip for when you're installing your own max air fan in your own van conversion is to drill pilot holes in each corner and cut pilot hole to pilot hole. Also, tape down your lines so that the sheet metal stays nice and steady so that you have straight, flat lines. First hole. How you feeling?
Like we put a hole in a $50,000 van?
Totaled, or are we okay?
We'll see. I guess it depends on how the next few weeks play out.
Shop dog. Off. Drawing out that outline for the rear view windows.
Wow.
Is this proper footwear?
Oh.
You bring your frizz for us?
Alright guys, I'm ready.
Sad dog.
All right, so it's day two of the build. We're gonna be finishing up the rear windows. We got a start on them yesterday. Had to sort of change course right at the end, so we got our cut lines drawn out and we just gotta saw through them today and hopefully put the adhesive on and stick them up on there. In addition to that, we're gonna be doing our solar panel prep and possibly installing them. I guess the last thing we're doing is taking pictures of the bunk windows that we ordered originally and listing them because they turned out to be much smaller than we anticipated. So we needed to order some CR Lawrence windows yesterday. Just a reminder to, you know, always double check everything that you order and make sure it's exactly what you want, because it sucks when you get to your build site and look at your windows and the little ventilation slot is this big. So we got some nice big bunk windows that are going to be really good for ventilating the van. That's the plan. Hope it goes well when we get out to the shop. So, remember when I said the windows were really small? These are them. So these are the AM Auto bunk windows. While they tell you the outer dimensions, they don't tell you that the inner dimensions are just half of that. So that is all the ventilation you get from these windows. So just a tiny little sliver, which is just not enough for moisture management in a van. So
Put it up against the van.
we got replacements coming. They look nice, but
They're so tiny. So this is something else we did. We cut the plastic stair liner off so that we can fit our subfloor to it. Because this whole thing's usually covered. This whole strip is usually covered. And we're just gonna build our subfloor right up to this line. Put a finishing aluminum rail.
There, oh, look at that.
There it is. That was the last cut.
Wow. Yes.
There it is.
Hey.
We got windows. Well, we got holes.
We got holes, yeah.
walk you through what we accomplished today. We got all this mineral wool tucked into the cavities here. And we actually put this vapor barrier that comes standard in the Transit back on top of it. Just because you see right there, those are a bunch of electrical wires that we don't necessarily want to get wet when that door is open. So we put the vapor barrier back up on top to keep it nice and dry. We get all our plus nuts in. Might be adding a couple more of those as we go on to framing when we figure out where we want all these to be. I wanted to show you how easy it is to install these plus nuts without using that $70 special tool that everybody online tells you to buy. All you need is a 1/4 bolt that threads into your plus nut with a hex head, so that should go in nice and smooth. And then you need 2 locking washers and a nut that won't engage on your bolt. So you go locking washer, nut on top of the bolt, another locking washer. Take this, screw it in, socket wrench, and your impact gun.
Hey!
You drive it in. Feel it engage on your wrench. And you can back it right up. Lesson learned, don't believe the hype. Don't waste your money on that tool. If you got an impact, a couple of washers, bolt and a nut, save yourself the $70. So what I'm doing now is I'm drilling some new holes in the solar panel so that the brackets don't interfere with each other when they lie next to each other. So instead of bumping together here and having all this wasted space in the middle, they can lie close to each other and be nice and tight and further away from the roof's edge. That's 420 watts. Pretty close to the rear of the van. We got it finished there with lap sealant. Underneath these brackets, we're just using VHB tape to hold the panels down, but that stuff is just rock solid. This panel is not going anywhere. It's I've forgotten how many days we've been doing this already. Day 6, day 7? Working on our floor. So all these plywood strips that we got down here, these are all just pieces of scrap that we found in the workshop that we milled down to be the exact same height as the distance between the bottom of the van floor and these ribs, so that when you come across just like that, it's totally flat. This stuff right here, the Loctite PL Marine Fast Cure adhesive sealant, is just incredible. We're gluing it right on top of kilmat, and it has been maybe an hour since we glued it down. It's hell to get out of a caulking gun, let me tell you, but it's good. The next step is foam board. And then just to show you, there's no real pattern here. We're just laying it down in the large gaps between the ribs. Been finishing up our subfloor, laying our insulation and getting everything glued down, and starting to trace and cut the plywood that we're going to lay our vinyl flooring on top of as well. So let's have a look. So this is our first piece of plywood, cut right to the edges there. Pretty solid fit, pretty happy with that. We've got insulation all the way through the van now. That's all glued down and set with foam board adhesive and a little bit of that marine adhesive that we really like. And we got some big heavy weights because we just glued this piece down today.